Today marks the NFL's biggest week of football season as the two best teams in the NFL will go for the crown at Super Bowl 58. All eyes will be on the Kansas City Chiefs and the San Francisco 49ers as they meet for a second time in 5 seasons. About a third of the population will tune into the big game every year, and it's Nevada's first ever time at hosting it. Big deal for Las Vegas to host this. This year, Louisiana Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser will be out there attending as a fan as well as a leader of Louisiana tourism. Today, Billy Nungesser is here with us to talk about the game on Sunday and, more importantly, what's going to happen here a year from now with Super Bowl 59.
Right, we're going to be bringing our trailer from, it was at the Rose Parade. We brought it to the Grammys. It's on its way to Vegas to put in the parking lot.
When you say your trailer, like an Airstream or something where you sleep?
No, it's a tourism trailer. It's a welcome center.
Okay.
So we'll be promoting Louisiana out there. We've got some billboards up that say the big game might be in Vegas, but the party's always in Louisiana. We'll see you next year. And then we're hosting the event at the House of Blues Foundation Room with all the sponsors to get people excited about coming here, sponsoring events for our Super Bowl next year.
Yeah, and we're one of the cities with the most Super Bowls, and you know, the competition has gotten so tough right now with so many new stadiums, and this one out in Las Vegas with so much glitz and glamour out there.
It's so important that we put our best foot forward, clean up the city, and really roll out the red carpet, because if we want to book more Super Bowls, they look back at how did you host, and we've done a great job in the past, and surely we'll come together and do it again.
And what kind of things are you going to be looking for when you're out there?
Well, we're going to be meeting with different groups. I know there's going to be a lot of meetings with the New Orleans delegation of New Orleans and Company and the Sports Foundation, and we're going to do a tour of the stadium, meet with the security officials, and make sure we know what they're doing so we can duplicate and bring those good things back to Louisiana.
And for those who don't know, it is such a long process and an expensive process to bring a Super Bowl to a city like New Orleans.
It really is. The governor will hand off the football to us on Monday, and from that it starts the countdown to the next Super Bowl, and there'll be meetings behind the scenes with all the people in New Orleans working on a sports foundation and all the elected officials to make sure we're ready when the Super Bowl does get in next year.
One of the reasons that cities compete so hard for the Super Bowl is it is a huge economic impact and a great tourism commercial when the Super Bowl comes to a city.
It really is, and that's why we're going to use this opportunity to go out there and get people excited about coming to Louisiana, not just for the Super Bowl, between now and then and long after. But you're right, it's economic impacts, hundreds of millions of dollars to the city. Not only people here spending money, but people viewing all over the world see the good time in Louisiana, in New Orleans, and it makes them want to come.
And where are we with tourism right now? Because it is a big part of our economy.
It is. You know, we had 5 record-breaking years prior to COVID. Last year we had, well, we still don't have the numbers for last year, but 2022 we had a little over 44 million. We want to get back to that over 53 million. We broke a record in 2019. I think we'll set it this year for sure. If not this year, surely next year we'll be back to setting new records for tourism.
And they've renovated half the Superdome. They're getting ready to do the other half in anticipation of next year's Super Bowl. So, I mean, it's going to be a beautiful stadium when the folks get here.
It really is. I think the renovations could be the difference in us getting another Super Bowl down the road, putting on a great show with the new renovated Superdome and all the events that will take place in New Orleans. We're going to put our best foot forward.
And as we said, it is getting harder and harder to get the NFL to come to a city because so many new stadiums are going up, and that is what the NFL wants to see.
Right. They'll build a new stadium with the lure or the possibility or get a promise of a future Super Bowl. So the more new stadiums they build, the more competition you'll have in hosting, and so we'll have to up our game.
And that's how you know it's such a big deal to bring a Super Bowl to a city. And when you talk about economic impact, how much do you think it'll mean to a city like New Orleans?
It's hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not, like I said, it's not just that one event or that 1 week in the Super Bowl. It's the exposure you get, all the great events going on. It makes people think about booking, just like what we do at New Year's, the Rose Parade, all those big events. When people are watching, it makes them think about, they go to our website, they look to book a trip to Louisiana. So hosting those major events like the Super Bowl, it's a big boost to tourism, to the city, and to the state.
And you guys will be watching Vegas. This is their first time to host a Super Bowl. It'll be, what will it be, our 11th or something?
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're looking forward to it, Billy. It's going to be a good one. Again, kickoff is this Sunday night at 5:30. You can watch that game right here on Channel 4.